Campers, have you ever stood outside at night, looked up at the sky, and felt small in a way that didn't feel comforting? Not inspired, not amazed, just uneasy. Because when you really think about it, nothing up there makes sense. Planets don't hang from strings. They don't rest on anything. They don't stop. They just float, perfectly balanced, as if something unseen is constantly holding them in place. And the more you understand why, the less safe it feels. At first, science gives us an answer that sounds reassuring. Gravity, an invisible force that pulls everything together. The sun pulls the planets inward, while their forward motion keeps them from falling straight into it. A balance, a cosmic agreement. But here's the unsettling part no one says out loud. That balance is not stable. It is maintained. Every second, every moment, each planet is constantly trying to fall, and constantly missing. Nothing is resting. Think about that. The earth beneath your feet feels solid. It feels still. But in reality, it's moving at nearly 30 kilometers per second, racing around the sun, while spinning, while drifting through a galaxy that itself is moving through an expanding universe. We are not standing still. We are falling, just in a very specific direction. Billions of years ago, there was no sun, no planets, no order. Just a vast cold cloud of gas and dust. Then something disturbed it. Gravity pulled the cloud inward. Slowly at first. Then faster. Then violently. The center collapsed, ignited, and became the sun. The remaining material didn't disappear. It circled, collided, broke apart, reformed. Out of chaos, structure emerged, not because it was meant to, but because it had no other option. Each planet found its path, not because it chose to, but because every other path ended in destruction. Too close, burned. Too far, frozen. Too fast, ejected into darkness. Too slow, swallowed. Survival meant obedience. Only those that stayed within invisible boundaries were allowed to exist. And that's when the thought starts to feel familiar. Because human lives work the same way. We orbit responsibilities, expectations, rules we didn't design. Move too far, you're lost. Move too close, you're consumed. Freedom exists, but only within limits. Scientists call planetary orbits stable, but that word is misleading. Stability doesn't mean safe. It means unchanging. And unchanging systems hide their danger well. Beyond Neptune, far past the comforting order of the visible planets, astronomers began noticing something wrong. Objects behaving strangely. Orbits tilted. Paths stretched and distorted, as if something massive was pulling them from the dark. They call it Planet 9, a giant world we've never seen, never photographed, never confirmed. Yet its influence may already be shaping the solar system. Something invisible, still in control. And if an unseen planet can bend entire orbits, what else might be affecting us without our knowledge? Dark matter, an invisible substance that makes up most of the universe. It doesn't emit light. It doesn't interact normally. But without it, galaxies would fly apart. Dark matter doesn't reveal itself. It controls from absence. You never see it. You only see what happens because it's there. And then there's something even more disturbing. Dark energy. A force pushing the universe apart. Not pulling. Not holding. Expanding everything. Faster and faster. Scientists say it's weak on small scales. That it won't affect our solar system. For now. But the universe doesn't stop changing just because we're comfortable. Imagine a future where that balance breaks. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just slowly. Orbits widen, distances grow. The sun's grip weakens. Planets don't crash. They drift. Forever. That's the real horror of space. Not explosions, not black holes, not destruction, but endless drifting. Being alive with nothing to hold you. And maybe that's why the idea of floating planets feels unsettling. Because deep down, we know what it's like to be held in place by invisible forces. Routine, expectation, fear, hope. Take them away, and we don't know where we'd go. We tell ourselves the universe is calm, predictable, safe, but it isn't. It's a system held together by forces we barely understand, forces that don't care if we exist. The planets aren't floating peacefully. They are trapped in motion, just like us. So the next time you look up at the night sky, don't ask why the planets don't fall. Ask something harder. What would happen if they were finally allowed to stop? Because this isn't just empty space. It's a stage of balance, pressure, and invisible control. And like every system that looks perfect from afar, it only works as long as nothing goes wrong. Campers, if this story felt familiar, you're not alone. There are more stories waiting. Some stories don't end. They stay and watch.